Hi, I'm Sally Duncan, and I am running for Albemarle County Board of Supervisors in the Jack Jewett District. I am a renter. I've been a renter for over 10 years. We lost our first home in the wake of the recession after 2008, sort of in the long wake of that, and we've been renters ever since. Being a renter just means that you cannot afford the down payment for a home. Being a renter does not mean that you are not committed to your community, that you are not invested there. It just means that you cannot afford whatever the going rate for a home is. And because of my experience renting, housing policies are really important to me. I understand the housing crisis because I live it. I know how difficult it is to find housing in your school district when you want to keep your kids in your school district. I know how vulnerable it can be when you don't own a home. We all know that the price of housing keeps going up. And again, this is obviously a nationwide issue and not just a local issue. But as local people, we do get to kind of, try and fix it for the people in this area, right? One thing I really think is that the people who work here deserve to live here. You shouldn't have to drive for an hour to come work at your job and then drive an hour home. When we don't have housing for our workers, it's really hard to build community. It's hard to have friendships when you're driving an hour after work and an hour before work. It's hard to have family time or to go see your kids play sports. Building housing is good for workers. It's good for the people in our community to be able to live where they already spend most of their time. Building more housing is also good for the climate because we're reducing the amount of sprawl in the time that people are driving when they live close to where they work. We need to prioritize affordable housing. We need to prioritize getting more housing for the people who are already in our community and who just cannot afford to stay here full time. I understand the urgency around creating housing and creating affordable housing and investing in the options that are available to us to create more housing. I understand the urgency when your rent goes up every year, when you aren't sure if your landlord is going to renew your lease, if your apartment complex is getting sold and you are getting evicted, if you don't have a good landlord and there is mold in your apartment. All of these things are serious issues. They're urgent issues that affect people's daily lives. It's really important that we center how people are living and how people are not able to afford a safe house. And so housing is very, very important to me. I think Albemarle County should be a place that everyone can afford to live. Everyone can know that they can have a home that is safe, that works for them, that provides stability, and that allows them the freedom to participate in our community and to put down roots here and to be able to stay here, to be able to grow up here. Providing housing also means that our kids that live here don't have to move away because they can't afford it. When we provide housing, we are investing in stability, we're investing in community, we are investing in each other when we build housing. And so what I would love to see is an Albemarle County where everyone can afford to live here, where everyone feels welcome and able to participate in our community, has the time to participate, and can feel like they are residents of Albemarle County.